Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy P Lot, aka the Brick Slinger, and guess what? Your boy got something to say. It's obvious what's going on around the world dealing with what happened last night at the Oscars. I mean, the highest award show when it's dealing with actors, directors, producers, script writers, screenwriters, costume designs, music scores, songs, this, that, and the third. But none of that really mattered except for this moment. That's right, the moment that everybody is talking about and is still going on as of this moment. Yes, Will Smith slapped the taste out of Chris Rock's mouth. That's right. It's ridiculous. Chris Rock was doing his usual Chris Rock thing. He was actually a presenter. He wasn't the host. He was the presenter of Best Documentary, in which Questlove from the Roots won that mug for Summer of Love, Summer of Souls. Please check that mug out. It's on Disney Plus. Not trying to plug that mug, but it's a dope documentary, and Questlove deserved that Oscar for that. So salute to the brother, one of my favorite musicians. But Chris Rock was doing this thing, making jokes here and there, and then when it got to Jada Pinkett Smith, he was like, "Hey, love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it." And it was, in my opinion, a reach. It was a big reach due to the fact that Jada Pinkett Smith is kind of, I won't even say kind of, but is suffering from this thing called alopecia. I hope I pronounced it right. Alopecia, whatever the case may be. Please forgive me for mispronouncing it if that's the case. But it actually is a situation where you actually lose hair. I literally looked it up this morning, and it's amazing, which explains why she is bald, and she has spoken on this situation. That's why she's bald, and even though on the show, Will Smith was laughing. Jada kind of didn't take that as a funny thing, but like literally five to 10 seconds after that joke was made and folks was laughing here and there, uh, it kind of died out, and then Will Smith get on stage, walked up to Chris. Chris is like, "Hey, oh yeah, whoa, whoa, whoa," and all that stuff, and all of a sudden, whop, five fingers say to the face, slap. What is pal spelled backward? Slap. That's what happened to Chris Rock, and it literally changed the whole atmosphere of the night because Will Smith was no longer that unbothered, peaceful looking, calm, flowing, trying to be like Miss. He wasn't. It was no more Mr. Nice Guy. All that went out the window. And once he got back in his seat, and Chris was like, "Hey, Will, just slapped it out of me." And what was Will's response? "Keep my wife name out your effing mouth." Right. Keep my wife name out your effing mouth. And Chris was like, "Hey, all right, I'm going to. I will do that." Okay. Mm. And basically, that has overshadowed even to the point where Will Smith won Best Actor. He won. He finally got an Oscar for Best Actor for the movie King Richard, and it was a huge accomplishment to portray the father the father of Venus and Serena Williams, and that has been overshadowed. Shadowed. Yes, Will Smith practically regretted for the simple fact that he did it on the stage up at the Oscars. He did it at the Oscar. He apologized to the Academy. He apologized to his fellow nominee peers and all that stuff. Moments late, there was many videos after that afterwards of Tyler Perry and Denzel Washington and even Bradley Cooper. All three of them came up to him and probably talked to him and this, that, and the third, calm him down, you know, understood where he was coming from per se. And even we quoted what Denzel told him. He said, "At the highest point, be careful, because the devil will try you. The devil will try you." And you know something? The world is so divided on whether or not Will Smith did the right thing when it comes to defending his wife against a joke. I know some probably like, it's just a joke. You telling me he can't take a joke and it's just a joke? And then there's others on the other sides like, hey, he defending his wife, man. He should be defending his wife. He was defending his wife. His wife wasn't pleased with it, so he defended her. He was defending her honor as well as his honor, and this, that, and the third. But here's my thing. When it's all said and done, not everybody's going to be pleased with what you do. Because on one hand, they folks want to get upset because Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, and will bring up August Asina and all that stuff. They will bring up Tupac. They're like, we wouldn't do that to them dude, and he slept with his wife. He wouldn't do that to this dude if he was alive, and this, that, and the third. He wouldn't do that. It's like, are we continuing to do stuff that we used to do in school in the backyard? Like, I bet you won't hit him. I bet you won't hit him. I bet you won't hit him. It's like, we're still doing this? If that's the case, then you want to know something? Nothing is new under the sun. We could be 50, 60, 70 years old. We're still playing childish games. We're still playing childish games. But only a true man would be like, hey, as a child, I did what childs do. I talk like a child, walk like a child, think like a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. It's obvious. We have seen Will Smith go through his highest up as well as his lowest down with his career, his relationships, his family, and all that stuff. And we still will not be satisfied with the fact that he even got to this point where he won his very first Oscar that he should have won a long time ago. He should have won that mug with Ali, and that's just my opinion. He should have been nominated for Hitch, and yeah, I'm saying it. Yeah, Hitch. He should have been nominated for Hitch. I'd rather get bricks for that, but hey, that's just my opinion. But let's keep it a buck. That slap will be talked about, and it's unfortunate that's going to be the stain of his career, not the situation with his wife in August, not the fact that his wife still have a place for Tupac in her heart, not for everything she said. It's none of that matters. None of that gonna top the slap. Why? Because of the simple fact, one, we saw a black man slap another black man on the greatest stage of them all. Yep. And number two, we also saw a black man be vulnerable. We saw a black man be vulnerable on the greatest stage of them all. Like, let's keep it a buck. No man should ever disrespect another man like that. We can have this conversation. We can debate all day, every day, but no man should ever disrespect another man like that. You never disrespect another man's wife while he's there. Even when he's not there, you ain't never supposed to be disrespect, because there's consequences for that. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to agree or disagree, there's consequences for being disrespectful to another man and his wife. Point blank, period. Yes, even Christians will even debate whether or not it was wrong. I'm not even saying it was right for him to do that to him. I'm not saying it was right for Will Smith to slap Chris Rock. I'm saying, but what I am saying, it was wrong for him to put that on display in front of millions. Cause it would, I know it's, but you know what? I understand though. I personally understand why, because it's going to get to a point where the nice guy is going to stop being the nice guy. He can handle as much as he wants to. He can handle his wife admitting to cheating on him with a younger dude. It's going to get to the point where he can handle uh his wife telling people and other folks that's watching that he wasn't doing the job. He can handle certain situations, but if it gets to the point where things get crazy, look, my thing is this: if I'm willing to fight you, then chances are I will fight with you. If I have to deal, if I have to deal with your nonsense, then trust me, believe I'm going to defend you later on, because now I know why your nonsense is nonsense. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we saw a man defend his wife, honest. Whether we want to accept it or not, we saw a man defend his wife honor, because we saw Jada Pinkett at her vulnerability. We saw Jada in a predicament where she's not comfortable with the joke, because it came close to home. Now, whether folks want to agree or not, Jada, Jada, it wasn't Jada's night. You know what I'm saying? It was Will's night. Jada was there to support her husband. Many people will talk about, well, Jada, she initiated Will. She's put the ignition in Will to do this, that, and the third. We can say that all day, every day, because, well, let's face it, we don't want to see we want to see a perfect disaster. We don't want to see a marriage that could be lasting as long as Will and Jada. Heck, we're getting to the point now where marriage is going to be obsolete. Why? Because people are tired of seeing celebrities get married and divorce, get married and divorce, get married, cheat, get back together, cheat, get a divorce, or get married, get a divorce, get back married. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, we're seeing marriage becoming obsolete, as well as we seeing marriage becoming more tarnished due to due to what we see celebrities go through. That's why so many people are too busy comparing their real life with celebrities' life, even when they see celebrities go through what Will went through. Don't get it twisted. Their life is different from your life for a reason. God put them in this place for position for a reason. If He would have put you or me or anyone that's not in that position, we will definitely won't be around for tomorrow. We won't able to handle what Will went through, and excuse me, and we pray for patience. We pray for peace. We pray for a renewed heart and a renewed spirit a clean heart and a renewed spirit. And God put us in a predicament where it can happen. And in order for you to have this peace, in order for you to have this joy, before you have this uh, clean heart and renewed spirit, you gotta go through some dirty stuff. You gotta go through this fire. You gotta go through this water. Guess what? None of us can say if that was me, this wouldn't be the case. Because if we was in that predicament, we wouldn't do exactly what we say we would do. We might end up doing exactly what Will did. Or worse. Yes, he could have did it backstage and probably would have did way worse than that slap. But we also saw Will be vulnerable. He saw him being angry, but we also saw him being disappointed in himself for even stooping to that low. Stooping that low into that level. Don't get it twisted. As much as I'm down for free speech, as much as I love comedy and this, that, and the third, it will always get to the point where a joke may not be as funny as the comedian wish it was or expected to be. It and like I said, many people are going to probably debate me and disagree with me and whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, number one, no man should disrespect another man's wife and expect nothing to come around. I don't care. And one thing for sure, I know what it's like for a man to come disrespect my wife and had to respond. And one thing for sure, yes, if it was me, and I can say that because it's happened before. If that was me, I would have got at Chris and say, "Look, man, that wasn't cool. That's my wife. Please respect that. Respect me. Respect her. Please." Now, unfortunately, that didn't go in my favor. But if that was me, knowing Chris Rock is probably will always be the greatest comedian of all time, but he also will be considered the most humble something in the world. If anything, if Will would approach him the way that most people will feel like Will Smith should approach Chris Rock to Will Smith, what they had Will Smith in their head, Chris will probably be like, "Hey, oh, no problem. You know, it's just a joke. I ain't trying to be offensive, but if it's that bad, then because I believe that was something Chris would do." But that slap kind of changed his whole persona. Now, people are going to salute Chris for taking the slap and calling it a day. And then somebody would dare bring up, well, he turned the other cheek. When they don't even know what it means to literally turn the other cheek. They don't understand that you slap one cheek and Jesus said to offer the other cheek. That's basically saying, look, if someone slapped you on one cheek, turn around and give them the other one. Because the minute the other one get touched, they're equal. It's fair game now. It's like you got both cheeks. Oh, let's go. Let's go. But nobody's willing to turn the other cheek and see whether or not it can go down like that. But that's just a little Bible study for you. But at the end of the day, number one, no man should disrespect another man's wife and expect nothing to happen. That's a lesson to learn from this. Point blank, period. Because at the end of the day, whether you and I like the situation or not, Will Smith said "I do" to Jada Pinkett. Will Smith vowed for richer or poor with Jada Pinkett. Sickness and health with Jada. Till death do us part with Jada. And at the end of the day, he made that vow with her and vice versa. Despite what we keep continuing to hear about on the Red Table Talk. He done this for her. She done whatever the case may be. He made that vow with her. And no matter what you say, how you feel, At the end of the day, that's still his wife, and he still loves her to the point where he will defend her against even one of his own friends, his own peers. He will defend her against his peers. Even a joke that's not even. I won't even say. I won't even say it's funny. I just say it wasn't appropriate for because of what she's going through. You can say whatever you want to say about what she going through and she deserves this, that, and the third. You can say that. But at the end of the day, no man should disrespect another man's wife and expect no consequences. That's the lesson. That's the lesson. And if nothing else, Will Smith was wrong for putting it out on display in public like that. Sure, he could have took care of it on backstage, but like I said, it could have been worse. But at the end of the day, we saw Will do something, and he apologized for it. And many people will probably say he didn't apologize to Chris. That ain't your business. That ain't your business. He apologized for because one thing for sure, the Academy can choose whether or not to even consider him to be nominated, no matter what movie he put out after King Richard. Yes, he won the Oscar. Even if they don't revoke that award from him, which they probably won't, they will still have the ability to say we can not nominate Will for anything for the next two Academies season. Point blank. They could do that. But at the end of the day, he won, and I salute him for that he's been honored finally for a movie that should be recognized and all that stuff. Because at the end of the day, that slap did more than just shadow his accomplishment. It also overshadowed Richard Williams' accomplished with both Venus and Serena, and it overshadowed their accomplishment. It overshadows the mother's accomplishment. It basically overshadowed the movie and the story that was told. But at the end of the day, we saw a black man be vulnerable. And at this point, it's not going to end. It's not going to end for the simple fact that seeing Will Smith become this, that, and the third, and people expecting this, that, and the third from him, we're going to see from now on what we can expect from black men to be openly and vulnerable. This is what you want. This is what you get. And if you don't like it, that's your problem. But that's just me. If you like what you heard, there's a like button. Dislike, there it is, a dislike button. Comment. Please feel free to speak your piece. And like I always say, you can disagree, but don't be disrespectful. And hey, who knows? This may be live next time. Subscribe. Share the video and continue the conversation. Until then, this is your boy P-Lot, aka the Brick Slinger. Yes, this is a very long video, but you know what? It was worth it. Until then, as always, continue to sharpen one another. Support the kingdom. Take care and God bless. Laborers.